And we are live. Welcome everyone to another, I was about to say Ace Tourney live stream, but Apollo Justice, Ace Tourney live stream. I mean, it's dual Destinies, but you know. It's technically Phoenix Wright, but we know this. How we doing? Jaren, how's everything going, man? How's your, what is it, Thursday been? I just woke up 30 minutes ago, so, you know. I got real cozy in bed and, you know, I didn't want to get up. You're alright at work this morning? I hope that was good. You're lurking, Dash? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I am seeing way too much Stranger Things on my Twitter, and I don't like it, mainly because I have not caught up at all, and I've not watched any of Season 5, and I've heard it's terrible compared to the other ones. For Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's morning. Dear Lord, you were not given any time off. Alright. This is going to be the big test. I'm feeling a lot better. I think it should be evident. I'm still a little stuffed up here, but it's nowhere near as bad. Well, this is going to be the real test. Doing voices. How limited am I with my voice acting? Being a little stuffed. That's the real question. The Astros got him up. Am I really? Why? Why did he go there? Why did he go there? Why the fuck did he go there? What was the? What are the numbers? What are the numbers? I'm upset at that. I'm very upset at that. I knew the Angels weren't getting him, but I'm just mad about it. That sucks. That absolutely sucks. What? 3 years? They didn't pay him anything. And there's opt-outs. God damn. Three years can max out at 63. The fact that it's not 63 and can max out at 63, they didn't pay him shit. I'm not gonna lie, I thought he was gonna get more than that. I really did. So it's 3 years, 54. Which can reach up to 63. And he's got an opt-out after every year. I mean, if I'm him, I'm opting out. Because if you have a good year, you'll get paid more. So. That's upsetting. Any news on Akamoto? Is he still not signed yet? Because that's kind of the one I've been keeping an eye on. Alright. Let me get my controller. No, not Cam Miller. I thought I was charging it, because I normally do. I had it right here. I don't know if I charged it at all. We'll find out if I need to grab my charger at any point. He's still available? Okay. I figured as much. They said he would sign, like, right up on his deadline, so I assume there's still he's not going to sign for another couple days. He's either an Angel or a Pirate, so... And he really wants to play for the Angels because him and his wife love Disneyland. It's the funniest reason. Yeah, Padres are heavy in there, but the names I've been hearing the most are the Pirates and Angels. Essentially, the Pirates are offering the most, but he really likes Disneyland. This is not a joke. I have heard too much about... I've seen way too many posts about how much him and his wife love Disneyland. I'm just like, that's crazy. That would be absolutely crazy if he signed with the Angels just because of Disneyland. Alright, I think I've seen enough for now. Well, wait, I have to check one thing, because I always check it around midday. Oh, we're good. Okay. I always check on the NC State portal, just to see if CJ Bailey announced he's leaving or not yet. Alright. So... we were in the middle of the cross-examination of Fulbright. I remember absolutely nothing, but I have my coffee, and that's all that really does matter. You bought Clair Obscure. I really want to play it. It looks so good. Of course, I'm broke, so we're not going to worry about it. But I will say the main thing I want it for is the fucking soundtrack. All the soundtrack sounds so good. The soundtrack sounds so good. And also Charlie Cox is in it. I like Charlie Cox. He's a good actor. Who doesn't like Daredevil? Yeah, I got $10 in the wallet there, and that's about it. So if it goes on sale, I'll be ecstatic. I will say, Steam told me that Baldur's Gate was on sale, and I looked at it and went like, how the fuck you think I'm gonna get that? You're crazy. Alright. I think I'm all good. This side up. Actually, there is one more thing I want up. I'm gonna put the game up so I can keep tabs on if Oregon keeps their lead. Are the Caps really playing a like noon game? That's crazy. I don't remember the last time a hockey game was played on a fucking day like this. Oh, hey, a Wonder Man ad. Hi. Exactly. This could be the big break we've been looking for. There does seem to be a hole in the prosecution's argument. Prosecutor Blackquill, would you care to respond to the defense's assertion? More implications for your number one pick. I will say this, if Mendoza plays well with those conditions, you're taking Mendoza and it's not even a thought. Like, with the weather that's going on, if he plays well in that, like, he's not just the number one overall pick, he's better than we all thought he was. Remember, my comp form is current Sam Darnold, which is kind of, in my opinion, I call that like the peak Joe Flacco comp, where it's like, he's really good, but you're still a little iffy if he can win you the Super Bowl, but you believe he might be able to one day, but you're not sure. And if that's a ceiling, that's plenty good. He also, in my opinion, is the Teddy Bridgewater of the class, where the floor is fucking high. The ceiling, I don't know how high that is, though. But the floor is really high. The least you could do is look at me while being dismissive. Your mind is as dull as an unhoned blade. Justice Dono. Justice Dono? He's been watching too many samurai flicks. It will take far more than that to cut down Simon Blackquill. A whelp such as you has no hope against my superior swordsmanship. This is a trial, not a sword fight, Prosecutor Blackquill. There's a perfectly good explanation for the lack of prints on the statue. You might recall that blood-stained cloth found at the scene of the crime. Well, it just so happens that the blood was the mayor's. So, what are you getting at? Hone your mind, boy. Why was there blood on that cloth? Solve that riddle, and you shall see that the hole you thought you found is but an illusion. Now let's see. How was that cloth used? Was it used by QB as a head covering, to wipe up blood, to wrap the statue? Well, one of these things is not like the other. One of these things is certainly the answer. And just because, I don't know if I'm going to have to pick these for when we try and 100% it. Just to wrap the statue. Maybe the alderman wrapped the statue in the cloth. In short, he wasn't touching the statue directly when he used it to strike back the mayor. Is that not it? Oh. Precisely. Bully for you, boy. Ah, it was nothing. Apollo, don't let him start manipulating you too. You just closed the hole for the prosecution. I did? I did. Right. That a statue wrapped in cloth would leave no fingerprints is as plain as day. But this also proves there are no holes in you. I'm running on very little caffeine right now. You have to excuse my poor reading skills even more so today. I haven't woken up yet. But this also proves there are no holes in our theory of the Alderman striking back. I love that movie. The Alderman Strikes Back. Fantastic film. Now do you see how dull your mind is? I'll make sure to sharpen it next time. A particularly frightening inmate once told me that. He always tenderly honed his blade before he went to work, like the samurai of yore. Samurai? Sounds more like a homicidal maniac to me. Actually, he was working in the prison kitchen at the time. Wait, so the inmate was a murdering samurai prison chef? Twould seem that the victim and his killer were the only ones there after all. I was kind of attached to that hole. Now what? Apollo, I just thought of something. If they didn't find someone's fingerprints on the statue, who's to say someone other than the alderman didn't hit the mayor with it? Why didn't I think of that? Anybody could have not left prints on it. Then who, pray tell, struck the mayor with the statue? Please, illuminate us with your wisdom, young lady. There's only one answer. The real killer. Prove the existence of this real killer. Then what evidence have you? Oh, I'll give you evidence, all right. Dear Lord Athena, don't try and kill this man. This man is on his, like, 5th straight MCR album. He's not okay. Athena, are you sure about this? To borrow your words, Apollo, I'm fine. Take a look at this. Black feathers and tracks, allegedly from a yokai, were found at the scene. I believe they're from the third party who struck the mayor with that statue. Is the defense actually suggesting some sort of monster killed that alderman? That's exactly what I'm suggesting. No, Athena! You just lost what little credibility we had left! That face says all that needs to be said. I don't have to read that. Sorry. Guess I got carried away. Mr. Justice, we've no time to deal with objections between members of the defense. Sorry, Your Honor. It's just this kid's still, well, a kid. Ouch. You meanie? I'm reporting this to Mr. Wright. That would be one hell of a plot twist. That'd be one hell of a plot twist. Elton John shows up. The fucking blind kid. Has he become your Leon, Jaren? Is that kid just your Leon? Anything bad happens, he did it? So, is this court to believe the feathers and tracks are from a yokai, as you put it? No, Your Honor. I believe they are a fabrication. The real killer wants us to believe some sort of monster murdered the alderman. Interesting. And why do you suppose the killer would do that? Why indeed? Mr. Justice, you seem as new to this as your partner is. Ouch. This is not reporting. This, I'm not reporting to Mr. Wright. Huh. Fulbright. Explain to his baldness what these brats are missing. You know, the who and why behind those feathers and tracks. What? You mean you can explain all that? This is the real test. Ha ha ha! Hey, I can do it perfectly fine. Our investigative prowess is without equal. I'm starting to think I chose the wrong profession. You and me both. Very well. Let's hear about those so-called yokai feathers and tracks. This entire case centers on one man's attempt to crush opposition to the municipal merger. Mayor Tenma panicked when the amazing Ninetales helped embolden the protesters. There we go. Yeah, okay, this one's gonna be rough to get through. So he stoked the villagers' fears by fabricating a monster. The strange feathers and tracks he planted made it look like a yokai was the killer. Those feathers and tracks stoke the villagers' fears? Absolutely. We knew exactly how to prey on their superstition. He knew exactly how to prey on their superstitious minds. Oh, I'm losing it. Those feathers only gave weight to the idea that the alderman was slain by a demon. The accused demon, Tenmataro, that is. Tenma who? Tenmataro, the legendary demon locked away in the village's forbidden chamber. I will say being stuffed up, I think, helps this voice get even more drowned out. From a young age, the villagers are taught to fear the great black-feathered demon, and thus were they binded to other, more plausible explanations. Hold on for a second. Before we start letting our imaginations run wild, this moment of reflection ever Vince Russo, with all his wisdom said publicly, Triple H is horrible creatively. I'll say this, I think Triple H has been iffy on his creative lately. However, go back to NXT Black and Gold and you will see top tier creative with ease. Even when he first took full control of creative. Fantastic shit. I would not say he's horrible. I would say he's in a weird kind of, I wouldn't say writer's block, but in a weird situation right now where doesn't have a lot creatively going for him. Outside of whoever's idea it was to give Ludwig Kaiser Grande Americano. That man is fantastic. That man is the real creative genius in all of WWE. There isn't a mom on a forklift, so it's horrible creative. Yeah, there's not 99 Viagra on a pole matches. I'm quickly gonna go get some tissues. And I'll be back in a second. Alright, I'm back. Whew. Isn't there someone else that could be considered a suspect? Mr. Justice, please explain yourself. On the day of the incident, there was a special event held at QB Manor. And as part of this event, there was someone dressed in the likeness of Tenmataro. Obviously, this person is a much more likely suspect than any legendary demon.
Objection.
Dullard, you're playing right into the killer's mind games. What? Listen here. The feathers and tracks were merely red herrings. The villagers believe the murder to be the work of the real Tenmataro. However, the police believe that the person in the Tenmataro suit is the killer. The defendant sought to sow this confusion in order to deflect blame away from himself. However, he was knocked unconscious by the aldermen, and thus, our mentally deficient mayor was caught red-handed at the scene of the crime.
Objection.
Do you honestly believe Mayor Tenma would do something so stupid?
Objection.
The evidence speaks for itself. Fulbright. Right. It was the mayor's last-ditch effort to stop the opposition before things got crazy. The Amazing Ninetales was fueling both the yokai craze and the anti-merger movement. Plus, he's one of the better-known masked wrestlers and the hometown favorite. I mean, look at that Poison Rana and Super Kick combo. It's straight out of New Japan circa 2015, damn it! I like the idea that Fulbright's just a big mark for New Japan. He's just like, it's straight out of Okada Mega 2! You haven't watched wrestling until you've seen Okada Omega the series. My God, is it amazing! That's why the mayor panicked and set out on the path of injustice. But why do people of Ninetales Vale really believe a yokai is behind the crime? Yokai sightings are an everyday event there, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I must say, a crime that preys upon innocent, impressionable minds. Just so. A particularly silver-tongued inmate once had the following words for me. The innocent of heart are the easiest prey. You don't say. Was this inmate a con artist? No. Why the fuck would you think that? He was framed for the murder of his beloved. I actually felt sorry for the poor chap. Wait, so he wasn't the predator? But rather the prey? Yes, well. Now then, the defense may proceed with their cross-examination. Alright, I'm not gonna lie, I entirely forgot we even had him say anything at one point. We got so off track with that whole conversation there. Detective Fulbright is the anti-merger... Detective Fulbright, is the anti-merger movement really that strong? This is James Cameron, man. Like, 1 billion would probably be a failure to him. Like, I could see this man thinking 1 billion is a failure. Like, what was the budget for, Fire and Ash? Oh, absolutely. Dear Lord. That came out of nowhere. They parade around in yokai costumes shouting, "Down with Mayor Tenma!" And just the other day, they stormed Tenma City Hall, claiming it was a den of vipers. 350 to 400 million. It's currently made 851 mil. So... they have probably made around 200 million in profit, somewhere near that, because your budget doesn't account for advertising and production and producer cuts. So they've probably made somewhere in the range of 150 to 200 million, more than likely. So, yeah, no, good profit so far. Good profit. Because the way you always need to look at profit for films is if you don't make double your budget, there's no way it's a profit. That's always the way to look at it. If it doesn't make double the budget, there's no way there's a profit. Oh no, we're getting 4 and 5 if they've made profit, you know. Even if it's not a lot, we're getting 4 and 5. Alright. I pop my ears, blow my nose. Ugh. Hate when that happens. Double checking things, just make sure everything's running well. We're good. But when the accused showed his face, the angry mob scattered like leaves upon an autumn wind. For you see, lowly yokai are no match for Tenmataro, the dark lord of their kind. Wait, are the villagers scared of Mayor Tenma or Tenmataro? I'm confused. I think he means Mayor Tenma. It's easy to get the wrong impression about the guy. Detective Fulbright, why do you suppose the defendant would commit such an act?
Hold it!
The Amazing Ninetales. No one knows his true identity, right? That's right. And he was a lone wolf he was a lone wolf, or in other words, he didn't belong to a wrestling federation. He was not signed to a deal by anyone. He was in New Japan. He was in Dragon's Gate. He was in Noah. I'm trying to think of more. He even showed up in Stardom one time. It was crazy. He took on the top Gaijin, B. Priestley, at one point. Which I will say, the way they announced B. Priestley's name, if you watch like her old Stardom matches before she went to WWE, is great. Because they pronounce it Priestley, and it's great. I love it. He appeared like a shooting star, defeating one Tenma-town wrestler after another. And before anyone knew it, he was champion. Like the samurai of yore, surrounded thick with enemies, he cut them down one by one. It was a complete and utter loss of face for Tenma-town Pro Wrestling. He was amazing! If ever there was a real superhero, it would be him and totally not me. I dream of becoming a true champion of justice, like him someday. This makes so much more sense why he's written the way he is now, because he's literally just All Might. He's just wannabe All Might. I bet Detective Fulbright would be a great pro wrestler. He could even team up with Prosecutor Blackquill. What fucking booking are you doing, Athena? What is this? I'm sorry, I didn't know we were fantasy booking over here. Okay, so we're fantasy booking Fulbright and Blackquill as a tag team. No, we're not doing the Big Boss Man and Nails. We are not doing that. Athena, no. No, this has been done and it didn't work. We're not doing it. A police detective and a prisoner in chains? Or a police detective and a prisoner in chains? You know, I think people would actually pay to see that. I know I would. Yeah, no, we're not doing Big Boss Man and Nails again. Not again. Ha ha ha! So you do understand the greatness that is the Amazing Ninetales. Did the murderer and yokai evidence really stoke the villagers' fears? Absolutely! It had an immediate effect! The presumed return of the dreaded Tenma-taro has them shaking in their boots! Oh my! Is it really that bad? The superstitious lot. It's as if Jack the Ripper had been set loose in their village. The mere thought of that demon lurking about is enough to spark a mass exodus. I see. That's a very persuasive argument. The mere thought of His Honor buying into Simon the Psycho Slasher's words makes me want to spark my own exodus out of the courtroom right about now. So you see, there can be only one reason why anyone would plant those feathers and tracks.
Hold it!
But it doesn't add up. If what you say is true, why top it off with murder? What do you mean? You claim that our client planted the yokai evidence to stoke the villagers' fears. If so, then why not stop there? Why murder Alderman QB? Excellent point. It is, isn't it? So, Your Honor agrees there was no reason for the murder, correct?
Objection!
Perhaps the killing was on the spur of the moment. You're saying it wasn't premeditated? From the outset, I had no intention of paying heed to any of your babble. However, the fact is, the mayor made a startling discovery. A startling discovery? Why don't I like the sound of that? Alderman QB's secret identity. Apollo, I think Prosecutor Blackquill has figured out the Alderman's secret identity. But even if he has, why would it be a motive for the mayor to commit murder? This is not good. This patch of fur was discovered at the crime scene. It's from the mask worn by the amazing Ninetails. Therefore, we can conclude that this mask was at the crime scene. Oh my! But why would it have been there? The victim was a former pro wrestler and a member of the anti-merger movement. Need I say more? Well, could it be? Your boldness has had an epiphany, I see. Our victim, Rex QB, was the amazing Ninetails. And the mayor's discovery of this fact was his motive for murder. No! Order! Order! What a shocking development! A motive clearer than crystal clear. It's clearer than crystal Pepsi, I say. What do we do now, Apollo? I didn't think they'd tie the Alderman's secret identity to the mayor's motive for murder. At last, we've reached my real point. Why did the Alderman have to forge his secret identity? Does it not pique your interest? Your boldness? I admit it does. It is odd that he had to create his own persona. Very strange. He also didn't have to, rip his face off or shoot himself. It's even weirder there. That's the only way I know of creating a persona. Little did we all know, Judge, big Persona fan. Just to secretly participate in the anti-merger movement. Very astute of you, your baldness. Right! Now take a look at this! Oh, a blackmail letter. This is great. Okay. Fulbright's gonna read it. Got it. If you value your dearest life, you will merge Ninetails Vale with Tenma Town. This blackmail letter was found in Alderman QB's pocket. At present, the Alderman's wife is in the hospital. And that letter is clear evidence the mayor was blackmailing him by threatening her. Ugh. Ugh. It was weird. I had like a burp and also a cough at the same time, and it fought each other. It was weird. Ooh. Ah. That was the weirdest feeling in my throat. No pause. And that letter is clear evidence the mayor was blackmailing him by threatening her life. Wait, didn't the blackmail letter sent to Mayor Tenma go missing? Right after the alderman's murder? You think maybe the killer took the letter from the mayor after the murder? And planted it into the alderman's pocket? It's possible. But we don't have any proof that's what happened. Talk about being up the creek without a paddle. I want to see this letter. If you value your dearest life, you will merge Ninetails Vale with Tenma Town. Do not tell anyone about this threat. If you do, consider your dearest as good as dead. Robot Jones. Mayor Tenma would have made a clear getaway if he'd just left after planting the yokai things. But he was knocked out cold by his sudden decision to kill the amazing Ninetails. So it was the amazing Ninetails counterattack that brought the entire crime to light. Wait a sec. Fulbright's claiming that the mayor killed the alderman after planting the yokai evidence. That the mayor was knocked out cold immediately after that? Detective Fulbright, please add your previous statement to your testimony. I'm legitimately just doing this just to get an idea of what I need to do here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's on top of the blood. So, yeah, no, the crime scene photo is the answer here. Got it. Just because we always press, gotta press them. So let me get this straight. You believe the mayor planted the yokai evidence before the murder, not after? Absolutely. And then he was knocked out cold by the alderman's last punch. He wouldn't have had a chance to plant the evidence after that. I want to know who's playing here. It's fucking Third Eye Blind is playing halftime. I gotta listen to Semi-Charmed Kind of Life. You guys can't stop me. I was jamming to this for years without realizing it's about drug use. Something else to get me through this. Semi-Charmed Kind of Life. Baby, baby, I want something else than when you say goodbye. Do, 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 do. Oh yeah, nothing better than some Third Eye Blind. Oh my god. I'm glad I was behind on that. I got to listen to some Third Eye fucking Blind. Some Semi-Charmed Kind of Life. If you have never listened to that song, it's great. And it's all about drug use. Well, I don't think the Angels are getting Akamoto. Apparently they're not going to bid heavy. I'm sure that was an arty decision. Ooh. Ugh. Ugh. Something's not right here. Hard to believe that a stiff, humorless man like the mayor would be behind such a stunt. We have to do something, Apollo, before they pin it on the mayor. We're going to need to prove the mayor Tenma didn't plan that yokai stuff. How are we supposed to do that? Ugh. I'll be back in a second. Got a water. Alright. I already figured this shit out.
Objection!
Detective Fulbright, your sense of justice is anything but fair. What's this? You dare question my justice again? Yes, and I'm going to prove it to you. Take a look at this photo. Look at this photograph. Every time I do, I don't really laugh. No shit, they pulled off a fake punt. This is the crime scene photo. And just what does this prove? It proves when the feathers and tracks were planted. But I already told you they were planted before the murder. The defendant planted the yokai evidence and then was knocked out while killing his victim. But that would be impossible. If you look right here, it's clear when the feathers and tracks were left at the scene. Aren't you pointing to the yokai feathers and tracks, Mr. Justice? Yes. See how the feathers are on top of the blood, and the tracks were made in blood? In other words, the yokai evidence could have only resulted after the murder. Then the mayor must have planted the evidence after killing the alderman. But you said it yourself, the mayor had been knocked unconscious thereafter. There would have been no time for him to plant any evidence at all. Therefore, there must have been someone else besides the mayor and the alderman at the crime scene. Ah! There must be some mistake. Order! Order! Where's your evidence? You can't possibly have any, can you? Evidence? Oh, I have evidence. In fact, I have an eyewitness's testimony for you. You do? But how? Was my vaulted sense of justice really just half-baked? He's taking this really hard. Mr. Justice, what is this testimony regarding a third party that you claim to have? I have it right here, Your Honor. It's the sworn testimony of Mr. Tenma's daughter. The witness, Jinxie Tenma, saw a yokai in the hallway after stumbling upon the scene. It was the demon Tenma Taro. He's the source of those feathers and tracks. I don't think they believe me. Oh, great. No one does. Will someone please say something? The defense will explain to the court exactly what he means. You dare to mock this court and justice itself! You're unfit to bear your name, boy! Your baldness. It appears our defense attorney here is delirious from exhaustion. Yeah, wrong. I'm also congested. I'm not gonna lie, for a second there, my brain thought that I said contested and not congested, and I was about to question myself. I think it's also because I looked over at my other monitor and, you know, I got the game up, so my brain went contested catch. Yeah, you know. I'm losing it, guys. Well, I'm losing whatever was left, I should say. Apollo, think of something quick before you're held in contempt of court. What do you think I'm trying to do? Talk about contested catch, almost made one there. Before you decide whether I should step down, please, hear me out. Very well, Mr. Justice. I'm all ears, but you had better explain yourself. What was this yokai you were talking about? It's all in this statement here. Jinxie Tenma asserts that she saw Tenma Taro after she discovered the crime scene and called the police. She came around a corner in the hall. It was around here. That she saw Tenma Taro fleeing toward the foyer. The defense asserts that whoever was impersonating this monster is the one who left those feathers and tracks behind, intentionally or otherwise. What? How incredibly unjust! Why haven't I heard about this before? The defense just proved it was someone else. So the mayor didn't kill him? Was it all a setup? The prosecutor has convinced us all. What the fuck, man? Apollo, the momentum is shifting in our favor. God. What the fuck? I'm out. Did this just get uploaded? I just want to see the thumbnail. What the fuck? That's what that's their choice for the first video of 2026. Okay. That's a choice. That is a choice. That's a choice.
Objection.
Uh-oh. Little do you realize that though you are in the midst of a fray, your sword is broken. Oh no! Our sword! It's broken! My sword? I didn't know I had one to break. Are you implying there's a problem with my claim? Consider this. That yokai impersonator had indeed fled toward the foyer. That fool and that fop would have seen him. Fool and fop? Oh, you mean Filch and LaBelle. Now that you mention it. Both Phineas Filch and Florent LaBelle were in the foyer at the time, but they hadn't stated that they saw a yokai, have they? Did you ever consider the yokai was but a figment of a scared little girl's imagination? Why didn't those two see the Ten Mataro impersonator pass by? Why didn't we ask them ourselves? I was just about to say that myself. No, really, I was. The defense would like to call Mr. Phineas Filch, caretaker of QB Manor, to the stand. I just know he must have something. Must have seen something. I suppose we can't ignore the fact that the little girl believes she saw a monster. Trust you have no objections to Mr. Justice's request, Prosecutor Blackquill. Understand that Mr. Filch is enjoying a nap out in the lobby. I knew that Tanuki was a rare find. But when we captured him, I didn't think he'd end up a witness. Do with him as you will. I don't know how I feel about him calling Filch a Tanuki. Not gonna lie. Dear Lord, I got like 50,000 notifications. Hey, Oregon scored a touchdown. Did he just say captured? No. Wait. I don't want to know. Very well then. Bailiff, please go wake Mr. Filch and escort him to the witness stand. Will the witness state his name and occupation, please? Oh, this one's gonna test me. Can I do my fucking Deep South impression? I don't know if I can do it congested. Let's see. There we go. The name's Filch. Phineas Filch. Caretaker, QB Manor. Oh, and this is for you, your lordship. Just a little something I thought you might like. Oh, my, what a fabulous pair of shoes. And your honor will do just fine, Mr. Filch. Ah, it's those shoes again. Don't they belong to Detective Fulbright? Don't tell me Filch stole them again. Don't tell me Filch stole them again. They're all yours. They're all yours, your honorship, sir. What? But they seem awfully expensive. Yep, too expensive for me, but I reckon they'd be perfect for someone like your honorship. It's a kind gesture, but legal ethics dictate I can't accept such gifts. Oh, ethics smethics. Just take 'em if you want 'em. Poshed 'em up real nice for you, too. Sorry about the shoes, Mr. Filch, but I will accept your testimony. The court would like to hear whether you saw Tin Mataro in the foyer after the murder. Dear Lord. My right nostril hates this right now. I gotta go get. I'm gonna grab a whole tissue box here. Alright. At the time of the murder, I was on guard duty in the foyer just like Mr. QB asked. I was making sure no one, fair, foul, fishy, or otherwise, could get to our guests. I was still in my office keeping a good watch when the murder happened after 3 p.m. But I didn't see nothing out of the ordinary. No siree. The yokai you keep jabbering on about was a phantom of a little girl's dreams. So you're telling this court you never saw anyone dressed up like Tenmataro? Yep, was guarding the whole time. That's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing butter the truth. And nutter butter the truth. Man's a fan of the nutter butter. And Tenmataro, bah, you don't really believe in all that yokai mumbo jumbo, do you? I certainly don't. Bullshit. My bracelet. It's... Something the matter, Apollo? My bracelet keeps squeezing my arm. Really? So you think Mr. Tanuki, Filch, has been lying to us? I wouldn't rule it out. Now, if I could just zero in on a tell, some sort of nervous habit. Ah! What in the... What's a hawk doing in here? I didn't realize Taka Michinoku was his tag team partner. So he actually can't team up with Fulbright. He's already got a tag team partner. It's Taka Michinoku. Allow me to introduce my trusty cohort, Taka. Seems to have taken quite a liking to the courthouse. Made it his new home, in fact. He doesn't live with you? You know, in jail? Who's ever heard of a courthouse bird? Taka simply loathes trickery and fraud. And that queer power of yours seems to have offended my dear bosom buzzard. Ah! I won't be able to spot squat like this. What the heck's going on around here? Run for the hills! No pets or other animals allowed in the courtroom. I don't know why I find that funny, but I found that funny. Somebody, help! Oh, he's merely having a bit of sport. He won't harm you, save when truly famished. In that case, Prosecutor Blackquill, you will ensure your feathered friend is properly fed. Looks like we have to do this the old-fashioned way. We'll be fine, I think. There was someone dressed as Tim Mataro there. Finch should have seen him. Just have to put our faith in Jinx's statement for now. Mr. Justice, please proceed with your cross-examination.
Hold it!
Alright, what we got? Mr. Filch, why did Alderman QB have you handle guard duty? Because he trusts me. I am the manor's caretaker after all. So you took said guard duty seriously. Let me tell you something about me. Yaps! Listen here, you little tanuki. Get straight to the point and be quick about it. The court wishes to hear what you did or didn't see in the foyer, and naught else. Yes, of course, sir. Right away, sir. Blackwell's got him completely under his thumb. Like I said, I was guarding the foyer entrance that day.
Hold it!
So no one could get to him. Sounds like security was pretty tight. Whoops. Wrong button. That's because there's always lots of sneaks and thieves around festival time. And the solution was to entrust the manor's security to a thief? That's not even funny. Maybe it's a matter of stopping thieves by hiring one. After all, it takes one to know one. I don't know, it seems more like letting the fox guard the hen house to me. So the witness testifies that he took his guard duty seriously. Yes, sir, your honorship, sir. Did you really keep an eye on the foyer the entire time? Poor old Filchy. Been working hard my whole life. Only to be smeared by some greenhorn in his fancy schmancy suit and silly haircut. Sorry. Sorry, Mr. Blackquill, sir. Didn't mean to get off subject there. Sheesh. Blackquill didn't even say anything. To answer your question, yes, I kept my eye on both of them. In fact, on the foyer.
Hold it.
Could you describe to the court who you would consider fishy looking? Someone all fidgety and shifty like? You know, like they're about to steal something. He just described himself. I wonder why Mr. Filch didn't see Tinmataro. Maybe Jinxie only thinks she saw Tinmataro. Or maybe Mr. Filch is lying. And if he's lying, we might be able to spot a contradiction in his testimony. So, I need to know. The only thing I was curious was the murder time. Yep. That's what I thought. I thought it seemed a little too early. It wasn't just after 3. Let's see. Let's save just in case. Lord knows I've been wrong before. And I'll be wrong again.
Objection.
Okay, so they consider 320 just after 3. Got it. I don't consider that just after 3. 315, 310, I'll give it to you. 320's on the closer side. Whoops. Alright. Ah. Yep. 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 That's what it is. This man was busy watching television. I forgot he had to see the Twilight matchup. I forgot about that. This man needed to see that Twilight matchup because rumors were it could have turned into Kenny Omega versus Okada, but then it became the Great Okan versus... I was about to say Yano, but I love Yano. Bad Luck Fale. That sounds like an awful matchup.
Objection.
Don't lie to the court like that, Mr. Filch. Hey, It ain't right to bushwhack a fella like that. Unfortunately for you, I have evidence that proves you're lying. Huh. And keep in mind, everybody's got a power like that in this game. That's just what it seems like they do. They just have everybody have a power. Which, I'm fine with that. If you look at this TV listing here, you'll see that at the time of the crime, there was a pro wrestling match scheduled. Something you'd never miss. I didn't watch this one, no siree. I was doing my job just like I was supposed to do. This guy doesn't know when to give up. Mr. Filch, someone even circled the match. It was you, right? Became Charmel versus the Survivor chick from Victory Road 09. Oh, God. Oh, Lord, no. Oh, no. I would rather it turn to Sting Jeff Hardy from Victory Road 2011. Holy fuck no. Oh, God. Not only that, you even told me you watched it. You said, and I quote, "It was a complete disaster." So you admit to slacking off. You can't trick me with your rooted poo lawyer talk. Okay, Dwayne? I'm one of them professional types, too. I can do double duty watching TV and the foyer at the same time. I mean, look at this fucker right here. He's got the fucking game on over here. He's streaming. Like, I mean, come on. He's doing all the... He's voice acting too. Not very well, but he's doing it nonetheless, and he's congested. Fucking doing everything. The only thing Filch can claim to be a professional of is professional thief. Imagine The Rock came out and he just said it in that kind of an accent. Rudy Poo candy ass. Mr. Justice, you would have this court believe the witness was slacking off. That's correct. He claims to have been watching TV and the foyer at the same time. But that's nothing but a bald-faced lie. Bold, you say, but I'm not the one who's lying. Perhaps you meant the witness, Mr. Justice. And in that case, let's see what evidence you can offer. You claim Mr. Filch is lying about watching TV in the foyer simultaneously. Now prove it. Please take a look at the direction the TV is facing in this diagram. Now, unless Mr. Filch has eyes where his right ear should be, I think it would be impossible to watch the foyer entrance and the TV at the same time. Why, yes, someone watching TV there couldn't possibly see the entrance. Exactly. And that means, Mr. Filch, you were slacking off and were not watching the foyer as you claim. Yaps! The bag's out of the cat, or I mean other way around. Order! 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 But Mr. Justice, is Mr. Filch's less than stellar work ethic relevant to this case? It's very relevant, because while he was slacking off watching TV, there really could have been a Tenmataro impersonator in the foyer.
Objection.
What now? Granted, this Tanuki was lax in his duties, but he still had the foyer entrance covered. What are you talking about? This. I'm not a mind reader. Auditory sense. His eyes may have been slacking off, but his ears were still hard at work. Right, Tanuki? They were? Or I mean, yes. Yes, they were. Very much so. But you already admitted to slacking off. Now you say you weren't? My eyes might be lazy, but my ears ain't. I would have heard anyone in the foyer. Uh-huh. You see, the foyer floor and stairway get all creaky squeaky when someone walks on them. Creak, creak, creak. Loud enough to wake the dead, I reckon. So you're saying you didn't hear anybody walk by? Yep, my ears were working full time. So, who's the liar now? You no good shyster? Whew. I mean, all the music in this game is great. The Ace Attorney games, their music is fantastic. A lying thief calling me a shyster. This has to be the low point of my fledgling career. Gotta hand it to you, Mr. Blackquill, sir. You really are something else. I mean, you don't miss a thing. And them bags under your eyes, they're darker than mine. Fair warning, Mr. Filch. Tak is particularly fond of Tanuki. Should you lie to this court again, you may suddenly find yourself on the menu. Yaps! Please don't eat me, Mr. Taka, sir. The witness will henceforth testify truthfully, under penalty of painful bird attacks. And with that in mind, the court requests that the witness revise his testimony accordingly. G-Man, welcome to the stream. Happy New Year to you as well. How have you been? How's your 2026 started? Also, to all you guys, Happy New Year. I didn't even think about it. Mainly because, thinking about it, I didn't even hear a lot of fireworks go off last night. Heard a few, but not much. Surprised. You're doing the YouTube over Twitch basically full time? There you go. I think the YouTube latency is a little porous compared to Twitch, but so you might be a tad bit behind compared to it, but that's about it. It's about the only negative. Maybe not. No, you might be good. Burgers and dogs for dinner? There you go. Good old classic American cooking. Even though both of those foods, I believe, are essentially German. But American cooking. Oh, God. Whew. I hate being, like, still a bit clogged, and it's all in, like, one nostril. It's all in my right nostril for the most part, and I hate it. Oh, it's the worst part of being clogged up. It's true. I was watching a pro wrestling match on the office TV. True, being behind is better than 45 ads in the heat of the moment. My eyes might have been slacking off, but my ears, they were working overtime. The floor there's all creaky squeaky like. No way I would have missed someone walking by. So you see, there weren't no Tenmataro in the foyer. Superstition is the religion of feeble minds. Understand. A simple, rational explanation is best. Forget yokai, demons, and such. We must use common sense for lacking that. Our entire world would be but upside down. Blackquill, a Stranger Things fan? Who would have guessed? Says the convict prosecutor who was totally assigned to the end times for the legal world. And besides, if there were any yokai roaming around, I'd nab them and sell them to the zoo. I wonder whether Jinxie was just saying things. That seems to be the general consensus, but I'm sticking to my guns. But if we can't prove she saw Tenmataro, the mayor's sure to be convicted. Then we'd better hope my guns fire bullets and not BBs. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Whew. Aye.
Hold it!
You are paid for your work, aren't you? So how do you justify watching TV on the job? But it ain't easy being me. I mean, I can't watch TV when we have visitors and there's no way to record stuff. We ain't got one of them fancy ass DVRs, as you call them. Sorry, am I supposed to be consoling you over your first world problems? If those are his problems, he should consider himself lucky. Guess pro wrestling's serious business to Mr. Filch. I mean, Japan loves pro wrestling. It's religion over there.
Hold it!
You lied earlier about taking your guard duty seriously, didn't you? Oh, that? Ain't no harm in bending the truth a little, right? Listen to me, you little tanuki. Lie again, and Taka shall feast upon that forked tongue of yours. Yaps, sorry, just let me keep my tongue. At least leave it until we get the truth out of him in any case. You were negligent in your duties, were you not? Yes, sir. I was, sir, but it ain't like that.
Hold it!
So you have pretty good ears, Mr. Filch. As good as they come, I'd say. Ain't nothing to hear a creaky floor. Plus, that Tenmataro makes a sound, then when he goes by, it's like a jingle jangle. Jingle jangle. How does he do that? It's that staff of his. That's what jingle jangles. What's he talking about, Apollo? Beats me, but I guess Tenmataro has a staff that makes noise. Come to think of it, didn't Jinxie mention something like that too? She said she saw Tenmataro holding a staff-like object that made a jangly noise. Yes, that's the source of the noise then. Well, Mr. Justice, Mr. Filch says Timotaro jingle jangles. You consider that vital information. We're not gonna worry about it right now. We gotta check the next line too anyways. No, Your Honor. I don't think it's of any importance. Very well. Witness may continue with his testimony.
Hold it!
Please tell the court, what did Jinxie see if it was not Tenmataro? She's always going on about seeing this yokai or that. Just an active imagination, I reckon. She won't even come near me because she thinks I'm some sort of tanuki monster. Can't say I blame her. So, Mr. Filch, you'd chalk it up to a child's active imagination? Yep. No Tenmataro or anyone else got in or out of QB Manor on my watch. Apollo, what could this mean? Do you think Jinxie was just seeing things? Well, if that's the case, the details she provided were pretty impressive. But if we're to continue believing Jinxie's statement, we'll have to uncover Filch's lie. Right, or find out why he can't tell the truth. Alright. So this section is the only section with anything there. Whew. Ah.
Hold it!
Let me shake off here a bit. So, Timataro's staff makes a distinctive sound. Yep, like a jingle and a jangle. Wait, Jinxie said something like that. Something about Timataro making a jangly sound. I think we're missing something here. I can't quite put a finger on it. Perhaps I should take a look at the court record again. I mean, the only thing we've really got to put anything to that is the statement. But it doesn't really, counteract his shit. Huh. I'm gonna save real quick. Nope, this one. I think the only thing we've got is the statement. Yeah. I was about to say, I'm like, that doesn't really do anything, because it just kind of assist his argument. Huh. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know what the answer to this would be. Like, it's gotta be this, because whatever you add is normally the answer. But I don't have anything to counteract that.
Objection!
Yeah, okay. I didn't think that worked, but I just wanted to test it. Just took like a 40-minute nap. Hey, good to know I can put you to bed. Ugh. I'm not gonna lie, if I didn't have commentary to do after this, I'd probably take a nap too. Well, I got recording to do as well. I got a lot to do. Is there is there a game on tonight? I don't think there is. Yeah, no, it's just Saturday and Sunday, that's what I thought. Saw college football night. Whew. What the fuck is the answer to this? Like...
Objection!
It really was just the image. Okay. In the back of my head the entire time, I'm like, do I just show him an image of him without the staff? Okay. I appreciate you keeping track of all the quarterbacks getting benched. I mean, most of the games that matter are the ones that actually have stakes. So, like, I set a fantasy lineup, and I think every single player in the lineup, outside of like Ashton Genty, I think is the only player I have in my lineup that isn't in a meaningful game. Let me see. Yeah, yeah. Everybody else is like playing for seeding or like to make like to win their division. There's a lot of quarterbacks getting put on the bench this week. Tim Mataro's staff would make a jangly sound, you say? Well, I'm going to say that your story doesn't add up. There's something the defense would like to share with the court. Firm backups are Leonard, Toon, Oladokin, Pickett, McKee, Ewers, Cook, and Lance. God damn, that's half the fucking league, essentially. That's crazy. That is crazy. And only one of them, now two of them, are teams that have clinched playoffs. That's insanity. Technically three, but the Chargers are trying not to play in Jacksonville. That's what they're trying to do. Huh. Mr. Filch, you say you didn't see Tin Matar on the day of the incident. Why then did you assume just now that Tin Matar would be holding a staff? Oh, that's why they have you pick that. That makes sense. Because the only reason we know about the staff is Jinxie's statement. So him saying he has a staff confirms her statement. Yep. My brain didn't even think about that. Josh Allen's starting. They're playing their starters. Buffalo's playing their starters. Because they're treating it like a big game. So, that was according to Sean McDermott, at least. So, it sounds like Josh Allen's starting. I would assume. Now, I would think if they get a big enough lead, they'd probably sit him, but from the sounds of what McDermott said, they're starting. You see, the Timataro Jinxie saw held a staff in his hands. And she described its sound just like you did, as a kind of jangly sound. Yeah, so he was holding a staff. What's your point?
Objection!
The point is that Timataro doesn't use a staff. Not normally. What are you talking about? You see, this is the only known document depicting Timataro. I mean, for now, he's their starting quarterback. I think next year's going to have a big say on if he's the long-term option. Lamar got confirmed to start Sunday. It's been full practice both yesterday and today. I think Sunday game may not be completely boring. I mean, it's AFC North, so you know it's not going to be high scoring. You see, this is the only known document depicting Timataro. Is there a staff in that picture, Mr. Filch? You're right. There's no staff. Not even a cane or a walking stick. Knowing Cleveland, though, they're going to hire Dion and give him a $100 million deal. Yep. And they still won't win any games because they're Cleveland. Woo! The nose is a going. I will say stakes and roster control's a little much, even for Dion if you make him head coach. I wouldn't think you give that much. Whew. Holy shit. Ugh. Yeah, I'm hacking up a lung over here. So the question is, why does the witness think Tim Mataro uses a staff? I believe the answer will overturn the prosecution's case on the most basic level. Well now, this is getting interesting. Alright, Mr. Justice, it's time to show the court where you're going with this. Please tell the court why Mr. Filch believes Tim Mataro carries a staff. Pretty easy there. Mr. Filch actually saw Tim Mataro right after the crime occurred. Current Black Monday coaches are on the hot seat. You got Todd Bowles. I'm unsure about Todd Bowles. That one I'm iffy on. Zach Taylor should have been fired years ago. Mike Kafka, I mean, he's interim, so he's not going to be there yet. He'll probably get an interview, though. Jonathan Gannon sounds like he's staying. Sounds like he's going to stay from everything we've heard. From me and Rappaport and such. Pete Carroll, who knows? Mike McDaniel sounds like he's staying. And Aaron Glenn, it sounds like he's staying. So, I will say this much. I don't think we're going to have as many open spots as people think. I don't think we're going to have as many openings. The only guarantees are probably Cleveland, New York, well, Giants, Tennessee, and probably maybe Cincinnati, but he survived so much, I don't know. Rumors heavily on Carroll and Stefanski. The Bears have already begun doing some early research on the head coach candidates. Suppose it's heavily implied if Carolina wins, was the locker room's turned against him. Oh! Oh no, trust me, Petullo's better than fucking Doug's illegitimate child. Press fucking Taylor was awful as an OC. I will say it is funny how the Jags and Bears swapped OCs, turned them into passing game coordinators, and both offenses got better. It's funny as hell to me. Everything I've seen, though, says that he's not getting fired, but, you know, I don't know. We don't know what's going to happen at the end of the year. Yeah, I saw that. And I will say I would feel bad for Shane Steichen if he gets fired. But I understand cleaning house. Chris Ballard should have been gone years ago. if they gave a shit about winning. That man should have been gone so long ago. He's literally the Colts Trim Bulky. He's there and they don't know why. That's the only way he could have possibly known about the staff. Busted again. Yes. How'd that feel, Blackquill? Not so fun when you're on the receiving end of the blade, is it? Admit it, Mr. Filch. You did see Timbataro that day, didn't you? Yeah, the dude doesn't deserve to be fired, but I understand a cleaning of house. Especially with new ownership, technically. I get it. You want your own people in there? I will say this. I do love that so many coaches have not been talked about as much when it comes to head coaching jobs. Because, like, Joe Brady was the talk of the town last year. I've not heard Joe Brady's name, like, once with people talking about new head coaches. I've heard Matt Nagy more. Oh, no, he is not. No, he is not. You guys actually run the ball when you have a good running back. We passed the ball when we had no wide receivers. It was 3rd and 1 and we ran a fucking screen on a fucking spread when they were wide open over them, like wide open in the middle to run it. Press Taylor didn't know how to run a fucking offense if it was right fucking in front of him. He was dumb. So dumb. You could have given us the greatest roster on earth. We could have had LT at running back and, let's see, worst wide receiver of all time. Andre Rison at wide receiver. He would have thrown the ball 40 times to Andre Rison, not given a single carry to LT. That's how dumb Press Taylor was with his play calling. Like, legitimately, the difference, it's just funny watching the Jags play now compared to Press Taylor or Doug Peterson calling, whoever, because we were never told who was calling the offense. Because we wouldn't understand. We were too dumb, according to Coach Peterson. We were too stupid to understand. And that is something he said in a press conference. He said, you're too stupid to understand. Or no, he said you wouldn't understand when somebody asked about a play. But watching the difference between the Jags play now and that offense, it's so nice to actually see the team do the easy shit. It's so nice. So nice. I love it. I don't understand how. I didn't know you could win 12 games. Fun fact, I've never seen the Jags in my lifetime win more than 8 or win more than 10. I did not know you could win more than 10 games in a season. That is a fun fact. I wasn't paying attention when I was 6 years old, so I didn't know they could win more than 10 games. I mean, coordinators get thrown under the bus a shit ton for head coaches, so you'll see probably coaches stay and coordinators change for some teams. I can definitely see it. I mean, Joe Brady's probably going to be a head coach somewhere, so that's definite. Matt Nagy, maybe. It depends why they're hiking the ball at 1. Because there was a QB sneak against the Colts that the Jags called, and literally the game plan was hold the ball until 1. That way the Colts thought we weren't going to snap it, because the entire defensive line backed off at the 1, and then we snapped it, and Trevor could easily get like 5 yards. It was a genius play call. Because the entire defensive line thought we weren't snapping the ball. So they all backed off the line. It was fucking great. As long as you're smart about the way you snap balls, it's genius. Yeah, I mean, Doug Peterson, really good at that too. Oh, he also likes to throw his quarterback under the bus unless his quarterback's a backup. Also, I was talking about this at one point with my mom. Doug Peterson is the only guy that Trevor doesn't talk about. He talks more about Urban Meyer because Urban's the guy that drafted him, so he gives him a little bit of love there. Because it's always like, Urban's the guy that brought me here, so, you know, he'll say that. He does not talk about Doug Peterson. They despised each other. There was a lot of hatred there, and it's very obvious. It's fucking hilarious. I'm begging you, please don't make me say it. But clearly you did see Ten Mataro. Stop stalling and testify to that fact. No can do. No way. No how. You ain't got no idea how terrifying he can be. He? Mr. Filch still won't admit to seeing Ten Mataro, even though everyone knows he did. The question now is why? Mr. Filch is scared to death. Is that why he can't admit the truth? Come to think of it. Jinxie wouldn't admit to seeing Ten Mataro after hearing about the village superstitions. She said that if she told anyone that she had seen Ten Mataro, he'd claim her soul. Wait, think Filch believes that too? Ah, so Mr. Big Time City Slicker Lawyer has heard about him. Them old village superstitions. Will the defense please explain what the witness is talking about? What? Are you saying they would grab Greg Roman? Is that what you're saying, Jan? Greg Roman headed there? That doesn't sound like a good thing at all. Uh. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. So Greg Roman it is. The people of Ninetales Vale believe some pretty strange things. And their superstitions may be the reason our witness can't admit the truth. The truth that he really did see Tenmataro. Darn straight that's why. It's all right here. Village superstitions. Do not gaze upon Tenmataro. Do not tell others if you see him. Ignoring the superstitions will cost you your soul. There is, however, one way to save it. Your immediate departure from the village. Freeing him will bring ruin upon the village. Wow. Ignoring the superstition will cost you your soul. See, that's why us folks in Ninetales Vale can't talk about seeing Tenmataro. That clears up one mystery. The killer took advantage of the superstitions by wearing a Tenmataro costume. They knew that way. I hate when you have that in a sentence. So difficult. They knew that way they could talk about him so that I can't fucking read. They knew that is fucking me up. They knew that way no one could talk about him, so it was if he never existed. Close enough. Fuck. That sentence fucked me up. That was worse than congestion, was that fucking sentence. Yeah, they did. So I couldn't hesitate. I couldn't stop because there was no stopping point. So it was that. Instead of that. Punctuation is important. He did not practice with a foot injury? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, if the Bills lose, the Chargers fans are going to be pissed. Oh, they're going to be pissed. The Chargers so badly don't want to play in Jacksonville. Charger fans are just like, no, we can't do it. Not again. That Quentin Lake contract is crazy. I like Quentin Lake, but that's a large contract for Quentin Lake. He's a good player. I think Mitch Trubisky still probably wins that game, but ooh, I may have to change my fantasy lineup a bit. I've got Khalil Shakir right now. If I told you that if Trevor Lawrence gets one rushing touchdown against the Titans, which he probably will, he's pretty good at that against the Titans, he'll become the 4th quarterback in NFL history alongside Josh Allen, Cam Newton, and Kyler Murray to have 25 touchdown passes and 10 rushing touchdowns in a season. Would you believe that? Because that's crazy that he joined Josh Allen, Cam Newton, and Kyler Murray in a stat. That is crazy. Well, you need good grammar in general, or at least use spell check. We'll see what they do. We will see what they do. I mean, Buffalo's playing for seeding, so it depends if they want to be the 6 or 7 seed. That's what it comes down to. The defense holds that this Tim Mataro impersonator is the true killer. What?
Objection.
Superstitions, you say? What kind of a fool would actually believe such rubbish? And with that using some silly fairy tale could so easily expose the culprit. Probably not, since it's not really the same style of game. Because I've seen a little bit of it. It's not as much of a visual novel as this is. So I don't think I'm going to get it. It's interesting to me. Make sure I'm right on the look of it. Because I saw a little bit of it. And, like, it's interesting in the way of it's, you know, following Miles. But it didn't look like it really follows, like, the same style of the Ace Attorney games. Images, there we go. That's what I wanted. Yeah, it's got the weird model, like the overworld models that I'm not a big fan of. Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of the look of that one compared to, you know, the normal style. Story-wise, I'm sure it's solid, but stylistically, I'm just, I don't like it as much. See, that's the issue. We need courtrooms. We need courtrooms. The courtrooms are important. You'll need to come up with a more rational, common sense explanation than that.
Objection.
Oh, Miami being in the playoffs. They look pretty dumb now, yeah. Bro, I was shocked at how bad Ohio State looked last night. I was dumbfounded. I'm like, wow. I thought Ohio State was going to take care of him pretty easy. I'm just going to say the Saiyan did not look good. He got taken out. It was like the Cell saga all over again. Cell was too fucking powerful. They couldn't handle him. He was too kick-ass. They didn't have Gohan. I do think this. If they had named him something cooler than Julian, like, you know, Broly, Kakarot, Vegeta, Bardock, totally he would have had the power to win. But they went with Julian. That doesn't have a Saiyan name to it. He's not going to get any Saiyan prowess out of that. Your common sense seems awfully narrow. Seems awfully narrow-minded to me, Prosecutor Blackquill. Yeah, Gohan beat Cell. With the power of his father behind him. Because they used the Father-Son Kamehameha. But it was Super Saiyan... Is it Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan 2 Gohan at the time? I don't believe he goes 2 in that, but he might. Yeah, it is Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. He goes Super Saiyan 2 to beat Cell. I couldn't remember if he goes Super Saiyan 2 at that moment or later on. Yeah. Because Goku gets obliterated by exploding and then Cell shows up again and they're like, what? And then Gohan gets all emotional and becomes Super Saiyan 2 because that's how going Super Saiyan works. It's tied to your emotions.
Objection!
Try living in my world of narrow cells, mortal danger, dark, sleepless nights. There is no lack of superstition in the clink, but few are those who truly believe in them.
Objection!
Well, the village superstitions are real enough to the people of Ninetales Vale. A life or death superstition might make even you a believer. He was cut through the heart. I'm just giving him the emo voice. The real, like, depressed and not caring for anything emo voice. I mean, he's supposed, given the fact that he says rubbish, he's supposed to be British. I'm not going to do that because to me, he's just emo. That's all he is. So that's all he's going to be. He's essentially Sasuke. That's the easiest way to describe what he is. He's the brooding antagonist that thinks he's the protagonist. That's just what he is. So he doesn't give a shit about things. No. In 2007, so freshman year. Is that freshman year? Or... That might have been last year middle school. I'm trying to remember. Either way, I don't think I was never like that emo, but you know, I wore all black because I like wearing all black. I was never hair over the eye because I never grew my hair out that long. But yeah. I never got that way. I knew people who were that emo. I will say I never did it, but I was always a big fan of the you're emo but don't like to cut yourself, so you do the rubber band trick, and you just. I don't know if you guys ever knew about that, but like I was always a fan of that. You wear a rubber band around your wrist, and in order to feel something, you just like bounce it off. That I knew about, and I did before, but I knew people that were cutters. Not like terrible cutters, but I knew people who did it. Luckily, they got better. You fool of a Tanuki. 2 times now, your lies have cost me. Sorry. I promise not to do it again. Well, maybe. Taka, my fine feathered friend, have at him. Yep, she's gonna eat me alive. Head for the hills. He took off. Yeah. Bailiff! What are you waiting for? After him! And with your fastest men! If you've got some horse girls, use that too. Oh, the judge would totally play, and he'd put it into his fanfic. I mean, that's what happens. The transfer portal can only do so much, man. Can only do so much. Don't worry, they'll have Dylan Riola next year. That's certainly not something you see every day. Well, would seem a new and important fact has come to light. Third party described as the yokai Tenmataro was at the scene. Now we have 2 witnesses who can attest to that fact. Any objections, Prosecutor Blackquill? Uh-oh. What? Huh. Oh! His shackles. I'm too young to die. Justice, Dono. Long has it been since I've been forced to draw my blade. You had best say your prayers. Eek! Oh. Detective, do something! Ha ha ha! Have no fear, Fulbright is here! When the going gets tough, the champion of justice gets going!
Objection!
Then get going already before he kills us! Oh, but I stand in awe of Simon Blackquill, for it is his sense of justice that set him free. Objection! Objection! I object to Detective Fulbright's definition of justice!
Silence.
Huh. I'm not in the habit of cutting down unarmed cowards. Oh, well, in that case, Prosecutor Blackquill, can I ask you to, I think the judge forgot he's in charge here. So, Justice Dono's assertion is this. Tenmataro is the real killer, not Mayor Tenma. According to him, there was a yokai at the scene of the crime. Right. And that yokai, or rather, whoever was impersonating him, killed Alderman QB.
Silence.
Care to explain why Jinxie, being the first to discover the murder, did not see your alleged killer yokai there in the Fox Chamber? What? He's right. She said nothing about Tenmataro being in the Fox Chamber. Let me enlighten you. The little scamp heard a dying scream right before she opened the chamber door. I will say it is tough to kind of do his voice, being that I'm clogged up, because I have to breathe through my nose to do it, and it's tough. And your point is? Upon opening the door, she found a freshly skewered murder victim, the alderman, and the homicidal maniac who had killed him, the mayor. No, there must have been someone dressed up like Tenma! Then why does that little scam claim not to have seen a yokai in the Fox Chamber? Considering her father is accused of murder, surely she would have mentioned any third party that might have been in the room. I don't understand. Why didn't she see Tenmataro inside the fox chamber? There is but one way to find out. Ask Jinxie Tenma whether she saw your killer yokai at the scene of the crime. Uh-oh. The final battle draws nigh. Only one of us will leave here alive. Long as my blade thirsted for blood, at long last, it shall be satiated. Wait, this is still a trial, right? Show me what you're truly capable of. Justice, Dono. Very well, then. Both parties no doubt need some time to regroup. So the court will take a 10-minute recess in order to... 3 minutes. I'm sorry, but a 3-minute recess? Just so. Plenty of time if your destination of intent is the loo. The loo? You mean the bathroom? Sheesh. At least include enough time to wash our hands. See that you take no more than 3 minutes. All latecomers will be punished. Yes, sir. I hereby declare a 3-minute recess before the battle begins. I declare Prosecutor Blackquill the winner of this round, if Simon says. Doesn't bode well for us if the prosecutor is running the show, does it? April 18th, 10:40 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 5. Never mind number 3, I was wrong. I didn't know what lobby it was. That was on me for fucking up. Yeah. He busted out of his shackles. Yeah, what was that all about? Guess they don't make shackles like they used to. Better be careful, Apollo. You've really brought out the samurai now. Especially after you proved there was a Tenmataro impersonator at the manor. What's with that guy and the whole samurai act anyway? Okay, I gotta do his voice again. This one's gonna be probably tougher than it needs to be. Such fine swordsmanship. There is no mere act. Mr. Justice, it's high time I challenge this jailhouse prosecutor to a duel. No, wait. Let's save the dueling until after we prove your innocence. I suppose it could wait till later. Does anyone remember we're conducting a trial here? Athena, I'm gonna go wash up. Remember what Blackquill said, Apollo. Don't be late. 5 minutes later, he's late. Now then, I believe our next witness is Miss Jinxie Tenma, a maid at QB Manor. Believe we can proceed now. The witness is ready, that is. I don't know how to pronounce that properly. And I'm not even gonna try. Leader of the 100 demons. He really does exist? Well, that is one polished tray. The witness will show her face while in court, or her testimony will be inadmissible. What is that, my child? Oh. God. Oh. Oh, I just got attacked with congestion. Oh. There it is. Oh. Ooh, that one was not fun. Begone, leader of the 100 demons. You think I'm a yokai? Well, I was once known as a judicial monster of sorts. The beast of the bar. The demon of due process, if you will. My charm has no effect. The demon of due process? Not sure I can see that one. Now, you little scamp. Yes? I trust you know why you're here. Bags? Bags? Oh. That tricksy tanuki. Try the noodle stand. Go enjoy a big bowl of tanuki tail noodles while you're at it. Everyone's a comedian. No, I meant your bags. The ones under your eyes. You must have trouble sleeping. Here, this charm will keep. I'm gonna butcher that if I pronounce it. This charm will keep Azukirai away. I butchered that. That yokai that washes Azuki beans? The only thing needing washing will be your father's neck before I take his head clean off. Zukirai often keeps people up at night with the noise he makes washing beans. But if you stick this charm on your forehead, you won't hear him anymore. Is that so? Well, thank you. Looks like Prosecutor Blackquill got more than he bargained for. They're bad enough alone, but together those two are just plain creepy. Your testimony, if you will, Miss Tenma. Specifically whether or not you saw Tenma Taro when you discovered the crime scene. Alright. I think this is a perfect spot to call it. 1, it's a good cliffhanger right before testimony. And 2, it's all bad right here. And I've got to take a little bit of a break before I do commentary. Because got the AAC Championship game to do today. So you guys will get that probably about 7, probably 7 o'clock Eastern. And then tomorrow we will be back with some more of the hardcore randomized black Nuzlocke. I do have to do grinding, so, I've got still a good chunk of grinding to do. Got to kill a lot of Audino randomizations to get that experience. With that, though, Jaren, Dash, G-Man, appreciate you guys for being here. If you're watching after the fact, or we're just chilling in the chat, I appreciate you too. With that, I think that's all I need to go over. I don't think I have anything else to touch on. Nope, I think I'm good. With that, I appreciate you guys. I will see you next time.